Namaste and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. There is plenty of ground to cover because there is just so much happening. The most important aspect is how do we want to position ourselves with the world and how do we want the world to look at us? One of the aspects is it is time the world takes us seriously. It is time, especially the West, gets over this mindset that it cannot happen in India and India can't do it. It is time when nations try and mock what we have done as milestones, as we have set benchmarks to the world. When nations try and mock that and not take it seriously, we give it back hard. It is time to assert ourselves. It is also time to tell the world that this is a Naya Bharat. This is a Bharat that wants to work with everyone, that wants to work in the spirit of cooperation, but it knows how to stand up for its own interests and to secure its own interests. So from vaccine racism that is being displayed by the United Kingdom to the fact that we as India seem to be surrounded by those who want to bleed us with 1,000 cuts, we have to stand up to these adversaries. Interestingly, the United Kingdom is finding various ways to try and block what we believe is unfair, to try and block Indian citizens from entering the United Kingdom despite getting fully vaccinated. First, it was the difference in the name of the brand. Now, it is questioning the very vaccination certification process itself. 83 crore plus and still counting, ladies and gentlemen. We have printed vaccination certificates which are digital, accessible anywhere in the world if you have an internet connection and if you have your CoWIN ID at hand, or even with your mobile phone and activated with an OTP. In the UK, they are handing out handwritten vaccine certificates. These are the certificates handed over in the UK. They want to trust that, but they will not trust a digitally generated vaccine certificate which can be married directly and linked directly to your passport. That is the convenience that we have enabled on a tech platform, which a nation like the United Kingdom hasn't been able to emulate. We have a platform which more than 100 countries across the world want to emulate, want to learn from. They are turning around and thinking and asking, how did you do it? And we have a United Kingdom, this is how they are writing their vaccines. And that is valid, but they will question the veracity, authenticity of this vaccination certification process. Why should we take it lying down is a question that one will ask. Let's go across to CoWIN Chief, Dr. RS Sharma. He is with us, Chair of the National Health Authority. RS Sharma ji, namaste. Thank you very much for speaking with us. Sir, this is audacity. We are showing the world what technology can do to enable, and we have nations like the United Kingdom questioning us, saying, are you really able?
No, actually, I think, Anand, I have also seen the news sort of going around on channels that the United Kingdom have expressed concern on the CoWIN certification process. But actually, I have not seen any authoritative statement either from the British High Commission or from the government of UK, which actually makes such concern. So I am not sure whether the kind of whether the story has any kind of roots in the I mean, it has any authenticity. So.
Because we have the British High Commission spokesperson saying we are engaging with the government of India to explore how we could expand UK recognition of vaccine certification to people vaccinated by a relevant public health body in India. Indian travellers to the UK must follow the non-vaccinated rules. This is earlier in the day today.
Let's understand. Engaging with the government of India to understand the process is not same as raising concerns on the vaccination process or the certificate. So let's be very clear on that. At least I will not be able to give any statement on this space unless there is an authoritative statement regarding the concerns being based on the CoWIN certification process.
Correct. But shouldn't there be an objection as an Indian citizen, sir, also as one of the top bureaucrats in the
No,
government?
but I will not, I'm not really in that space. What I would say, the factual part I want to put before you, Anand Narasimhan, for your viewers. Actually, we received a mail from the British High Commission sometime in the month of August, last month, wherein they said that their national health system wanted to understand the CoWIN architecture, and therefore they would like to know more about it. And we consulted the Ministry of External Affairs, and with their consent and with their participation, the British High Commissioner had met me on 2nd of September this month. And we had discussed, and he said that we would like to know about how CoWIN works and what is the process and method of digital certification and all that. So we said that this is a technical issue. I will put in touch with my technical team, and then your technical team can interact with me. Both the technical teams from Britain's side and from our side, they have had 2 rounds of discussion. The first round took place on 16th of September, wherein the British side actually explained how their system works to our technical people. And then on 21st, that is yesterday, our people explained to them as to how our system works. So that is the conclusion. And then today I received a mail from British High Commission to the effect that the sort of technical discussions have concluded. Both the sides have got information about each other's processes. That's where the matter stands. So I have not seen during the proceedings, I have got the proceedings of both these meetings, and I have not seen any reservation, concern, or whatever term you can use from any side. So I think I will not like to, on this limited issue, that there have been expressed some concern. I would say I am not aware of such concerns.
True, but then where would you and how would you point out the UK government's advisory, travel advisory, where it recognizes, first it said we will recognize AstraZeneca, but we don't recognize Covishield, when we know both are the same vaccines. Then when that concern was raised, sir, they turned around and said India is not part of the list of the vaccine approval certified bodies or nations whose vaccine certification is approved by the UK regulatory authorities. Don't you see there is more to it than meets the eye? Don't you get that sense? Especially when the UK wants to learn from us and they want to emulate our CoWIN platform?
Well, thank you for that question. I want to say that because I have a limited role to play in the matter, which is basically, being the chairperson of the vaccine administration and basically as a platform that I will that those questions related to CoWIN process. I will not be able to answer any question, though I may have personal views as a citizen of this country, as you rightly said.
I agree.
I may have personal views, but I will not like to express those personal views on this platform. I will limit myself to the CoWIN related issues. And as I said very clearly, I have not had concern expressed by official authority from the United Kingdom.
तो आपके पद की गरिमा की सीमा को आप नहीं लांघेंगे और उसको बना के रखेंगे, and I respect that sentiment, Dr. Sharma. If I may ask you, in these engagements with the British counterparts, what was their reaction when you shared with them what we've been able to achieve as a country with CoWIN?
I have not, participated in these discussions, but I have the proceedings of the minutes of those meetings, and basically each side understood how the process works. So that's where it stands. There is no mention, not even a single sentence where somebody is saying that no, this process is flawed or this process is less robust and stuff like that. That's number one. Number two, let me share with your viewers the fact that a couple of weeks back, the WHO came out with their standards of vaccination certificates. And actually, we were aligning ourselves completely with those standards. And it was a happy coincidence when we reviewed as to what the WHO standards say and what our data part says. It was absolutely aligned. we have all the data elements which are required for any digital vaccination certificate. For example, the identity of the person, the vaccine with which he or she has been vaccinated with, the dates of vaccination, and the place where he was vaccinated, and other details of that person. So I think there is no element which is lacking. Similarly, on the issue of packaging, which means how the certificate is formatted, we satisfy all the standards of encryption, which means the digital verification of the certificate, that it can be verified, that it has its authenticity and integrity can be verified, and we are using the highest levels of encryption. So there is absolutely no flaw of any kind. The only minor thing which actually is there, which we did not collect the date of birth, because we believe in collecting minimal data. Therefore, we collected year of birth. But however, the people who gave these details of the identity document, that identity document has date of birth. So what we have done is, we have said anybody who is traveling outside can actually download a certificate just after plugging in the year and month and the date of the birth, and therefore he will have the certificate. So I think that's the only minor issue, but that also is optional, by the way, in the WHO standards. So I think our process is as robust as it can be. Our process is as scalable as this can be. I think we have 800 million records, and each person's digital certificate is available with us. So, and I think there are a number of countries, you remember that when we had the first global CoWIN conclave, in fact, the communication from the British High Commission began with the fact that we participated in the global CoWIN conference, and therefore our national health system is interested in knowing more about the CoWIN process. So that's where this whole communication began. So to say that this began, with the objective of examining our process, that will also not be fair to say.
True. Dr. RS Sharma, thank you very, very much for speaking with us, being very candid and frank. And you're saying, and you've also told our viewers, that the WHO standards and our CoWIN platform standards match. In fact, we match and we meet all the expectations in terms of the data, the relevance, the verifiability, and of course, access, and of course, the integration which is possible. So there you go. There's no reason why it should be challenged or it should be restricted. Now we'd see what happens going forward, and if India is able to indeed assert itself and get the UK to correct and mend its ways.